Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Bob here. Thanks so much for stopping by. So I know in my last video I said that was going to be it for videos on the channel until after the Christmas break, but I had a watch come in that I just couldn't wait to show you guys. The watch is the model A.5 Acid Green from Seals Watch Company. Awesome watch. I've been following the brand for quite a while now and been wanting to get one of their watches in for a review. So really excited to have a few days of wrist time with this one. Big thanks to Seals Watch Company for lending it in. So let's get into the watch. Alright, so this model, the Acid Green, and a second model, the Burgundy Roulette, are a collaboration between Seals and designer Matt Smith Johnson. Matt's actually a watch enthusiast in my area. I've had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times at some local watch enthusiast meetups, and earlier this year he actually also did a pretty cool collab with Laco. So he's a great guy to chat watches with. Really happy he and Seals teamed up on this one, and the end result to me is one of the coolest watches I've had in on the channel in a long time. This model, the Acid Green, is a very bright and vibrant watch. Seals watches are typically a little more tame in their colorways, but both this and the Burgundy Roulette ramp up the fun factor in a pretty big way. Taking the colors out of the equation for a minute, the design is just very unique. The owner of Seals always enjoyed sketching tanks and took inspiration from them when designing the case of the watch. The bezel and case have the look of the turret and hull of a tank, and the way that the lugs come out, they resemble the tracks. Not only was this design inspired by a tank, but it's also built like one. The first thought that came to mind was just how solidly this thing is built, and that goes for everything: the watch, the bracelet, the clasp, crown, just everything has a very robust feel. The watch is a nice size, coming in at a width of between 41 and a little over 42 millimeters, depending on where you take your measurement. Lug to lug is 50 millimeters. The thickness is just under 12 millimeters. The water resist is 100 meters, and we have a sapphire crystal. The watch is running the Miyota 9039, which is a high beat movement running at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is a 24 joule movement with a power reserve of 42 hours and gives that second hand a nice sweep around the dial. The dial is a dark, almost a slate gray. There's two layers with the gray dial, then the black minute track, which is sunken around the edge of the dial. Of course, everything being framed in by that green chapter ring. Now, Seals wouldn't tell me the secret, but apparently this is the greenest green you can possibly get, and I'm pretty sure they're using alien technology to get it this green, but you hear guys talking about how a certain piece has a pop of color, but this is next level pop here, and I just love that. Up at the 12 is the applied Seals logo with the printed Romans at the 3, 6, and 9. The hands make for an easy watch to read, and that yellow second hand adds even more fun to the watch, with that tip having the same hexagonal shape as the Seals logo. It might be a little bit hard to see, but there's a blue crosshair on the dial. This is actually a prototype. They plan to make the crosshair and the bit of blue text above the 6 a little brighter and easier to see. The lume is solid with a two-tone application of Superluminova. Looks to be maybe C3 on the hour and minute hands and BGW9 on the rest. Nice effect though using the two colors. The case is very well finished. It's almost completely brushed other than the sides of the bezel where we have some polish work. The crown guards are screwed to the case, giving it a neat look. Same goes for the bracelet. They're using screws to secure it to the case versus spring bars. The crown is signed. It's a little thin, and I thought maybe it would be hard to grip and manipulate, but no problem at all. We've got a nice winding action, and it screws back in like butter. The case back is just a sterile case back. I'm not sure if they plan to add artwork on the final production models, but it's totally fine by me as is. The bracelet, I'm sure you've noticed by now, is an integrated bracelet. That can be a negative on some watches, but the bracelet is just so good, I don't think I'd want it on anything else. The way they kept it a single piece link versus maybe a three piece was a really good call. It just goes great with the overall look. We've got a simple but solid clasp stamped with the Seals logo. milled steel with 4 micro adjusts. The bracelet is 100% brushed and has a taper that helps with comfort and maneuverability when you're wearing it. And on wrist, it just wears so good. It totally hugs my 7 1/4 inch wrist. It's a heavier watch, but the way it wears, you almost forget it's there. As far as cost goes, these are available right now on pre-order for $800. I believe they're asking for 50% up front. I'll leave a link below where you can check them out and take a look at some of their other watches too. There's some really great ones there. So overall, I think they did an awesome job with the watch. Seals and Matt have put together a rock solid watch with a really fun design. If you're on Instagram, you should give Matt a follow at Teenage Grandpa for some awesome watch shots and maybe stay up to date on some future projects. So that's it, guys. I hope everyone has a great and safe Christmas with your close ones this year. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.